Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Enrique Eddy and today I'm back, okay? I've been away for about like 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and that's terrible. I need to be more consistent. I aim to be more consistent, but I'm back today and I'm bringing to you a very interesting video because today I'm going to be sharing with you my experience with sleeping on the floor for 3 months. So with that said, let's begin. So, why did I start doing this? Now, the reason is because I had an eczema outbreak, right? So I laugh because it's pretty much the same reason with cold showers, right? Why I started them is because this is a breakout that I talked about in a previous video a while back. It started in like the end of last year and it lasted till the beginning of this year, and my sleep was terrible, right? It was horrible. I couldn't sleep comfortably. It was just something horrible, okay? So I thought that the best way to sleep during the meantime that I healed would either be like on the floor here or just here against the wall. So I thought, well, that's the best alternative. And obviously, before doing it, I did a lot of research and I found some really interesting benefits. So I'd known about the topic before about sleeping on the floor, but I never gone into it, right? And once I read about it, I read about some people's experiences, watched some videos, and really did some research. I found some pretty interesting benefits, which I definitely noticed a lot of them myself, and I'll mention them later. So yeah, that really convinced me as well. Like everything else that I've done to improve myself, cold shower, semen retention, I haven't made a video about that, and working out, martial arts, everything that I've done, which has some way improved myself, it has a lot of benefits. This has definitely been something like that, and I think it's been something unexpected as well because I didn't expect to be sleeping on the floor for the amount of time that I've been so far. Like I said, I just thought about doing it while I healed, but I really liked it, and I've noticed, like I said, many good benefits, which is why I've continued to do it. So that's why I began, and now I'm going to start into how I began. I just want to make a clarification real quick, and it's that I never directly slept on the floor. So, like, let me explain. I slept in my bedroom floor. That's where I've been sleeping, and the floor here is carpet flooring. So, what I mean by that is that the floor is covered by a carpet. I'm not sure what is underneath. Now, I know there's many kinds. Like, you could have concrete, you could have wood, you could have vinyl, tiles, laminate. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that mine is wood and then it's just a carpet over it. I'm not sure really how it works. But yeah, I want to clarify that that's how I've been sleeping. I didn't sleep like on concrete or wood directly. So that's not something that I can recommend to you. I can only recommend to you things that I've tried out myself that have been beneficial and that I've tried out for a while, right? So I just want to clarify that real quick. I didn't do it that way, so I can't recommend you go do and just sleep on the concrete or sleep on the wood. So how I did it was that I used 3 things, okay? So there was obviously the floor, carpet flooring, a pillow, a sheet to put over the pillow and over the floor, and a blanket. Now, no pillow, thick pillow, slim pillow. For me, the best has been a slim pillow. Nextly, it's the sheet on the ground because obviously the ground is dirty. Regardless of how often I clean it and what types of cleaning I do, it's still the ground, right? So you need to use a sheet. Like when I mean a sheet, I mean like basically something like a blanket to put over it and over the pillow, and that's where you lay on. And after that, you just get your blanket. Obviously, depending on the time of year, you could be a thick blanket, a thin blanket, whatever, and what you choose to sleep in, a pajama, whatever you choose to sleep in. I'll sleep on my back, I'd sleep on my side, and I'd move around, and it wasn't really comfortable for like the first 5 to 7 days. After that, I slowly started to adapt. But yeah, the beginning, if you try this out, it's not going to be definitely something really comfortable because it's a very big change. It's going from a soft mattress, which could actually be negative for you in some way, I'll explain later, compared to the floor, right, which is purely flat and could be hard depending on how it's covered. So it was a bit uncomfortable for me for the first few days, but after I started to adapt and I noticed some pretty quick benefits. So top 3 benefits for me. So firstly was that I would feel less soreness after exercising, right? Now, cold showers has had an impact on how I recover from exercise, but this has had an impact as well. I would feel less sore. Second thing was better quality sleep. Now, I never really had bad sleep. When I slept on the bed, I would get up more frequently, and just by the way I acted the next day, by the way I performed everything else, I wasn't as properly rested. It was never like a serious issue because I did sleep relatively well, but it just wasn't to the point that I was sleeping at now. And a big part of that, I'm assuming, which is the third benefit, is that focus. Okay, so what I mean by focus, I mean when you sleep on the ground, there's purely focus on one thing, and that's sleeping, only sleeping, right? Because when you're on your bed, right, is oh, I'm on my bed, I'm gonna play Minecraft on my phone, whatever, I'm gonna watch an episode of Netflix. When you're on your bed, there could be many distractions, right? When you're on the floor, they could be as well if you let them get to you. But if you're making such a big transition from going, I'm pointing this way because my bed is this way. But when you're making such a big transition from like going to a mattress all the way to the floor, right, which is big transition in the sense of comfort and many other things, why are you doing it, right? Sure, it might be the benefits, but the task that you're changing is your sleep. Okay, that's the task that you're changing. You have a lot more focus on sleep because you set up your bed, let's call it, however you're sleeping. You set that up and you're gonna sleep, right? That's what you're gonna do. So that's what I really noticed for me is that like when I would sleep on my bed, I would look at my phone for a while. I still do that sometimes, but now it's just a lot more to the point. You know what I mean? Like, cause like I don't leave my bed set up during the day. I pick it up, I shake the sheets, I pick it up, I fold everything, I store it, and then I lay it out during the night. So once I lay down, I know that I'm going to sleep. That means that I'm more focused to doing it, and I'm gonna have better quality sleep, which also leads to me being more well rested. So that's my experience. That's the benefits that I noticed. And now, why would you do it, right? What could you expect from this? You could also expect many benefits, right? So the main benefit that I've read about is improved posture. Now, haven't had bad posture. I mean, maybe I did when I was like 13 or something, but for many years I haven't had bad posture. So I can't say that I noticed improvements in my posture because I didn't. Like I've never really had bad posture, but that's a big improvement that a lot of people notice. Another one is aches. So if they have some kind of back pain, if they have some kind of neck pain, that can go away. Now, one that I noticed myself is the soreness, right, and recovery from workouts, from exercise. I'm not, like I said, I didn't find as much like evidence about that, so that's something more personal. But that could be something that you can experience yourself. A fourth one, which is something that I haven't experienced because I didn't do, is more space. So like more space, like if you get rid of your bed, right? Like you obviously have a lot more space in your room if you're doing this in your room. I haven't gotten rid of my bed yet, but if you do that, you'll have a lot more space, which could be incredibly beneficial for you, right? You could use the space for whatever you want. Number five would be that you're more focused, right? Like I explained, you're more focused because you're getting into the task, right? You're setting it up so you can go to sleep, right? You're not just going in there and relaxing and doing whatever. You're setting it up so you can go to sleep, which would be number six. That leads into number six is that it's faster. Everything is a lot more faster, right? You set it up, you go to sleep, and this, boom, it's done. It's definitely something that you can see a lot of benefits from. Something that can really make a big difference for you depending on how the benefits will affect you. Like if you're having serious posture issues, then obviously that's a big win for you. So it's something that I recommend you try. Now, I wouldn't recommend it to you for like the only reason why I wouldn't recommend it to you is that if you have a serious medical condition, I'm not a professional at all. You would need to speak to your doctor, whoever's in charge of you, and get their advice, right? So I wouldn't recommend it for you if you have a serious medical condition. I wouldn't recommend it for you if you have serious allergies. So what I mean by this, it is still floor. You know what I mean? It's still not hygienic, right? So there's dust there. There's other kinds of allergies. So if you're someone who tends to get sick easily in this way or catch many allergies, then I wouldn't recommend it to you because you're right there on the ground, right? You're right beside it. This is how you can get started. So, five things, okay? Number one is you need to find a sleepable surface. So, I'm not even sure if sleepable is a word, but what I mean by sleepable surface is don't start off on concrete, don't start off on pure wood. If you have carpet flooring, start off on that. If not, use some kind of tatami, some kind of mat, yoga mat, that could work. Now, something that I want to say is that I wouldn't recommend you use something too thick because that kind of takes away from the purpose of going from bed to floor. Because the thing is, like, when you're on your bed, like, obviously it depends on your mattress and even on the bed itself, but a big issue that you can have is that, like, the mattress is not like still, you know what I mean? It's not flat. So what happens is, like, let's say, like, I'm gonna show you my hand, right? Let's say you're sleeping like this on the bed, right? And this is the mattress. Because it's not like hard, it's not still, it sinks in, you know what I mean? Like you're here and then it sinks in some way, right? And over time, that gets a lot worse, right? And that's why you replace your mattresses every so and then. But with the floor, because it's so hard, right? It's so still, you're purely rested, right? You're not sinking or anything. And that's why it can be very beneficial for your posture and beneficial for you in other ways, like your bones and your muscles. Because when you're sleeping on the ground, especially if you're sleeping on your back like this, you are purely resting on the bones. You're purely still like this, properly aligned, perfect, right? It's not like if you're on a bed and you're like slowly sinking in, right? Or even if like you're still on the ground, but you're sleeping in a position where you're not that aligned or whatever, it's not the same. So I wouldn't recommend you to get something thick. I recommend you to get something as thin as possible that still makes you feel comfortable in some way. Even though you will be uncomfortable at the beginning, it's still something that you will be able to sleep on. Now, the second thing is your materials. So I say that basics would be one pillow, right? Whatever your preference. I think that the best one would be something thinner, or maybe if you have some kind of neck problem, you need a special pillow, sure. But a pillow, a sheet to put like on top of the pillow and on top of the ground, and a blanket. Right now, blanket up to you, thick, thin, whatever. That's up to you. So those two things are the first things to get started. Everything else is just kind of a number three. So number three would be try sleeping positions. Now, like I said, sleeping on your back is the most beneficial one. That's not something that I usually do. It's just I don't feel that comfortable. I do it occasionally. Like for example, when I get my teeth adjusted or when I got my ears pierced, I did it for a few weeks. But it's just never really been me. It might be you. So try that out or try sleeping on your side. I wouldn't really advise you to sleep on your stomach because I'm not sure about everything scientifically, but I think that in some way your digestion is not as good and it's just not really beneficial for your organs and stuff. But hey, just try it out. Try out a couple positions. See what best suits you, right? Also, obviously not going to be the same compared to when you're sleeping on the mattress, but try out a few sleeping positions. And number four, which even though it will be uncomfortable at the beginning, will be what will help you the most to go to sleep as fast as you can, is to relax everything. So what I mean by that is, um, that once everything's set up and you're there, relax everything, right? Don't tense up, right? Don't be like this. Just lay there, relax, and let go. Okay, let go. Lay there, be still, try to be still, get adjusted to a certain position, close your eyes, and relax. And this ties into the fifth thing, which is to stretch, okay? Don't be like, I know some people can like sleep like a bit more like this, like a bit more curled in. Now, that could work for you, sure, but I think that the best way to get started, and I still do this, is to stretch everything out, right? So, like, don't keep your legs bent. Stretch everything out like this, okay? Keep it all stretched out, okay? Because I feel like this will help you be a lot more loose. It will help your bones and your muscles be a lot more in position and a lot more aligned, which will result in you sleeping a lot more fast. That's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned something new. Try this out. I hope it goes well for you. Do your research before you try it. And with that said, I'll see you soon.